Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Today I'm in the garage with the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450, and I'm looking to add some storage. While I'm happy to see that Royal Enfield included a luggage rack and a standard top plate, this one is made out of plastic and it's pretty small, so I'm going to put on something a little bit bigger. I decided to go with Royal Enfield parts, so let's start with the top box mount. This stainless steel mounting plate can be used as a standalone luggage platform by using the many built-in tie-down points, or you can use it to attach the official Royal Enfield top box for additional storage. Inside the box, you'll find the top plate and a bag of 4 mounting screws. The first step is to remove the 4 screws that are holding on the standard top plate. I will be saving the screws and the top plate just in case I revert the bike back to factory. Next, I'll position the new top plate onto the rear rack and secure with the 4 screws that came with the kit. After I secured all 4 of the screws, I went back afterwards and torqued them to 13 Newton meters. Now that the top plate is installed, I'll move on to installing the top box. Now, once I decided to use the Royal Enfield top plate instead of a universal mounting plate, I knew I was going to be locked into getting the official Royal Enfield top box as well. The top box was packaged well, and I didn't experience any issues. The top box fit and finish seems to be pretty good. I did experience a little issue with the hinges and the top of the case not closing properly. Seems like it might be binding up on something, maybe the plastic portion that surrounds the outer edges of it. I'll have to see how it goes after a while, after it's broken in a little bit. There are a few accessories that come in the box. The first bag here is the 2 backrest pads that you need to install. This next little bag here is the locking lever that secures the top box to the mounting plate. Next, I've got a bag with 2 keys in there and a couple of reflectors if I choose to put those on the back. I'm not sure if I'm going to use those yet. On the bottom of the top box, there are 4 plastic bobbins that need to line up with the large holes in the top rack. I'm going to carefully align the top box with the mounting plate. Next, I'll push the top box towards the rear of the motorcycle until the bobbins slide into the smaller slots. Next, I will remove the Velcro that covers the area that they call the lever cup. And finally, I will install the locking lever. Now, the instructions say to install this in the open position. This is to be screwed in until the lever cup makes contact with the base of the top box. The lever cup is the silver portion. After that makes contact, you want 1 more full rotation, and then you close the lever. Now, I decided just to put the Velcro piece back in place. It doesn't fit perfectly, but it should be able to keep garbage and stuff from falling down in the hole. The final step is to install the backrest pads. Now these have 3M VHB, and this tape, in my experience, is super strong. I'm not worried at all about this falling off. But what I do like to do is use a hairdryer to warm up this tape before I stick this on. I'm going to use the included cleaning wipe to get all my fingerprints and any other residue off of here, just to make some good contact for the VHB. You can also use rubbing alcohol if you need to. And here's what it looks like with the backrest pads installed. Now they say to let this cure for 72 hours before use, but I ended up taking the bike for a ride the same day and I didn't have any issues.
Alright guys, this is my first ride with the Royal Enfield top box installed, and it feels great. It's kind of windy today and I don't feel any drag or wind resistance as a result of the top case on here, so it feels really good. I've got to run a couple errands and everything fit in the case, so I'm good to go. Now it's been a few weeks since I installed the mounting plate on here, and I have been using it just with like a cargo net and some bungees, so like throwing my lunch bag on there, strapping it on and taking it to work, and doing a lot of commuting with this bike lately, so it's been really good. It'll be even better with the top box now. I'll have more room and I can lock it, so that'll be really nice. Anytime I can run errands and use the bike, it just makes it more fun. I am a recent Royal Enfield owner, but so far I've been really impressed with the bike and the quality, the fit and finish, and also the accessories that I've picked up. Now, I haven't had any trouble getting anything at all. My local dealership, the same one that I bought the bike at, is able to get stuff in like a week or two. When I ordered this top case, they told me to take up to 2 weeks, but I got it in just over a week. So it hasn't been really difficult at all trying to get stuff for here, and the prices are pretty good too. The original plan, what I was going to do, the same thing I do with all my bikes, is for the first service I always take them to the dealership just to make sure everything is checked out and good to go. But this bike is so basic, I am not going to do that this time. I actually picked up an oil change kit, so I've got a few quarts of oil, and I've got the filter kit, so it comes with a paper filter and then all the O-rings that I need to replace. So that's pretty much all I need. Yeah, there's just something about this bike, it just seems really easy to work on. So it gave me the confidence to just go for it, do the first oil change myself. And I've got a copy of the service manual that I found online, so it has all the torque specs for everything. So looking through the service manual and the user manual, going back and forth between those two resources, I pretty much know all the torque values and the items that are checked during the first service, so I'm just going to go check them all myself. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's such an easy process, I don't know if I'm going to record a video on it. I might just throw the camera on just in case, and if anything interesting happens, then I can share it with everyone, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, what do you think? It was a toss-up between the silver box and the black one. I got the black just because, like, the bars and everything on here are all black. Kind of wish they had a black top plate here, but it still looks alright. Alright, now the real trick is to see if my helmet fits in here. Most helmets should, I would assume, but mine's a little bit different because I have camera crap on it. Wow, I was a little concerned there for a few minutes. I didn't think I was going to be able to get my helmet in there, but it turns out it's just a Motovlogger's problem. My camera mount on the front of the helmet prevented it from going all the way down on the one side, so I took the cardo off just to give a little extra room. I probably could have left that on. The camera mount was the problem. This helmet that I have on right now is an Arai Defiant X in XL, just to give some reference as to what size helmets will fit in there. Of course, your mileage may vary. Certain helmet manufacturers could be longer front to back and pose a problem. But as I get more helmets, I will test them out. But I want to get moving because it's 100 degrees out here today in Arizona. And with full gear on, it gets a little warm. That's my errands done for the day. I'm heading back home, but I hope this video was useful. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please click the like button, and I will catch you guys on the next video.